Yesterday's big winner at the Super Bowl were the Green Bay Packers, of course, but who were the winners in the game inside of the game, the best TV commercials? What were your favorites? Leave your comments and questions right here on tjwalker.com or if you're watching on any video player. So TJ, who were the big winners in your estimation in yesterday's best commercial race?
Well, according to USA Today, their polls showed that the big winner was the Volkswagen ad where the little kid is dressed as Darth Vader, thinks he's turned on the car with his great powers. Now, I have to confess, this ad didn't do much for me. I saw it coming right from the beginning. I think it would have been much more effective 10 years ago when it was a real novelty to see somebody start their car with their remote control and their keychain. I remember the first time I saw it, it blew me away, but now it's been around forever. I didn't like the surprise factor. For me personally, I thought the GoDaddy ad with Joan Rivers was hysterical, it was surprising, it was funny, and it was a little disturbing too. You find yourself attracted to Joan Rivers, that's the source of nightmares, but it definitely makes you not forget GoDaddy.
And TJ, it's interesting that, as you mentioned, USA Today picked that Volkswagen ad, and that's the ad that Volkswagen put out long before the Super Bowl even aired. So people were not having that wow factor of, with a lot of these commercials, sitting there and wondering, okay, what is this a new ad? What's this an ad for? That anticipation factor, the very first instant that ad came on, you knew exactly what it was going to be. Even if you weren't a big football fan, you're watching that, you probably have seen it someplace else. So that was the big winner in their estimation, even though probably people have been seeing this for the last two weeks.
I know what you mean, Mike, but let's put things in proportion. I mean, supposedly 100 million people watch the Super Bowl. The percentage of people who really follow things as closely as you and I do and as our viewers do, that's a very small percentage. It couldn't be more than a couple of percent. So the vast majority of people who saw these ads saw them for the first time live on the Super Bowl. So for most people, there is still that element of surprise.
How about from a company's point of view of putting all this stock into this Super Bowl ad and being judged one of the worst ads? Is there still some ancillary benefit to being listed among all the worst ads of having people be aware of those ads?
Well, you'll have to ask Groupon for that. They are getting talked about all over the place for having the worst ad, the one featuring Timothy Hutton mentioning Tibet. But people are talking about them. Now, to Groupon's benefit, they happen to have a product, a service that people love, and it's exploding. This ad doesn't seem to have helped them, but people are talking about them. And that's one of the reasons why advertisers do pay a premium to be seen on the Super Bowl, is you have not just the eyeballs you get through traditional advertising, but you have the public relations effect of people talking about this as an event, analyzing it beforehand, dissecting it as we are. So there are some other benefits there.
TJ, something else that a lot of people were talking about, maybe not as many as were watching the Super Bowl or the commercials, was the launch of Gawker in their new format. They had gone away from the blog style format to now more of a news-oriented site. And what happened this morning? The big launch? Technical issues. What's the danger for a company, any company, and especially this one like Gawker that is very self-promotional? Nick Denton has been talking about this for a few months. And then when you go on the website early in the morning, technical errors.
Well, I went on it several hours later thinking, well, surely a company like that has fixed its problem. It had not fixed its problem yet. In the long run, is it really going to matter what happens in one day? No. I do think that there is more than one way to skin a cat. Not everybody has to have the traditional blog format of just whatever the most recent thing is, you throw it up front. There is something to be said about an editor's eye really looking at a site from the standpoint of the user experience and figuring out, okay, someone who comes here once a day, what do we really have that's going to be of most interest to them? There is something almost bureaucratic about it. And hey, we have a blog format here at tjwalker.com. So I don't want to seem like I'm knocking it too much, but there is something almost bureaucratic about, okay, whatever the last thing is, that's what's up. Because the danger is you had some great, fantastic story, but it's now buried 5 stories under and no one sees it.
TJ, final story of the day, and sticking with more news on news, the Huffington Post and AOL merging. The last time we heard about AOL merging with another news organization, did not end too well, if anyone remembers AOL Time Warner. What do you think about this move for the Huffington Post and AOL joining forces?
Well, it's hard for me to imagine how this can really be bad for the Huffington Post, because they are an upward trajectory area. Huffington has done a fantastic job of taking just an idea and creating the 39th most visited web property in the world. That's a tremendous accomplishment. Now, she has spent a lot of money. I mean, her traffic isn't that much greater than the Drudge Report, and he's a one-person shop, basically. But still, she has reinvented journalism in the internet age. AOL wants to grab onto that. They have, I mean, I'm a little bit unfair myself of just saying AOL, Time Warner, disaster. They do have a lot of other internet properties out there, TechCrunch, other things like that. They do make money. They're not going to rule the world as it seemed they would in '99 and 2000, but they're not going away anytime soon either. So, Ariane Huffington, congratulations. For the rest of AOL and Huffington Post in the world of news and user-generated content, we'll have to see what this means. I'm TJ Walker.